Shalom. 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 All right, we good. Bear with me, we'll get started. All right. All right, Shalom. Before I get started with this live lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. And double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect, thus pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the elect. I'm back with another lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakakwadash. All right, getting into this thing here, based off this article here from the Jerusalem Post. It says UFOs, which are the chariots of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. UFOs once took control of Russian ICBMs, nearly caused World War III testimony. Now, before we get into the article and read this article, when I saw the title, you know, I thought about a bunch of videos that I remember that came out years ago that I got. And, you know, we're going to play and just put it all together, showing you that the power that we serve, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all right? The power we serve is not of this world, okay? The chariots, the angels, all right? The power is not of this world. And we're going to get into that just based off some of the testimonies that were given about how, you know, the chariots of Yahweh Shema Shai have, you know, manipulated Esau's, you know, nuclear weaponry, their systems and whatnot. You know, we've seen footage, you know, brothers have seen footage of, you know, videos of chariots taking out missiles, taking out rockets, you know, and years ago we posted those videos and YouTube took them down. All right, that's how we know that this is the real deal. You see what I'm saying? So before we get into anything, I got a few clips lined up. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. We're going to get into it because I wanted to follow up. Pretty much this is like a follow-up that I, from the video that I did yesterday or the day before yesterday, the chariots, angels, and his UFO propaganda. The Lord will reveal his power, all right? And I wanted to follow up on that in the spirit because we are in that time where the Lord is really about to reveal his power, man. All right. He's about to manifest that right hand. We're about to see more, you know, heavy things happen in the spirit, man. All right. And I did this video and it was about 33 minutes long and Esau took it down. He cut the stream. You know, the video is still up, you know, both videos that I did, but he cut the stream, you know, because I had made mention about the video here, as you see me pointing into the screen. All right. The brother in Houston, years ago, he you know, he recorded this video of this NFL game, right? The Redskins and the Cowboys, and there was an angel that was like watching the game, man. You know, and this is a real image of an angel, right? No body, no eyeballs or nothing, just the, you know, the woolly hair and the beard, you know. And this was never talked about at all on television. Esau never brought it up. It was just swept under the rug. But this footage here is crucial, you know. Just adding on to the point about how the Lord is really about to magnify his power, man. All right. Remember, the power we serve is not of this world. So let's get into it. It's just follow up. Just wanted to follow up on this lesson through the spirit. All right. So let's get into it, man. I got a few clips here. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. All right. So let's play this. All right. So this I posted this on my animation page 3 years ago. CNN, it says the chariots control the ICBM missiles and nuclear systems. All right, so let's go into a little bit of the testimony about that.
That the United States government is keeping the information secret. Former Air Force officers and an investigator are here with their stories. Here in Los Angeles is Robert Hastings. He's author of UFOs and Nukes. Alice is a former captain, U.S. Air Force Base. Former U.S. Air Force officer. He was at Maelstrom as well in 1967, and he says his superiors told him UFOs caused the malfunctions. And in Peoria, Illinois, is Dr. Bob Jacobs, former First Lieutenant, U.S. Air Force, former U.S. Air Force photographic instrumentation officer. A UFO showed up on film that he shot in 1964 at Vandenberg Air Force Base, and that was later confiscated by CIA Hastings. How did you get, what's your explanation for UFOs at nuclear weapon sites?
I can simply say after 35 years of research that these incidents have taken place. There are hundreds of declassified documents which indicate that UFOs have demonstrated a distinct and ongoing interest in our nuclear weapon sites. I've also interviewed nearly 100 gentlemen who were involved in these incidents at various Air Force bases. This is very widespread. What you're seeing here this evening is the tip of the iceberg.
How do they cause a malfunction? What do they do to cause something to not work?
I think that's probably still an unknown. I know that Boeing engineers attempted to duplicate some of the malfunctions. They did succeed in doing that, but they still can't determine what initially caused them. Bob Salas could address that.
Bob, what happened at Maelstrom in 1967?
1967, I was on duty as a missile launch officer. I get calls from my guards upstairs. First, I get one call saying that they're seeing strange lights flying in the sky, and I didn't pay too much attention to that. About 5 minutes later, the main security guard, the flight security controller, calls down, says he's looking at a glowing red object, very large, hovering over the front gate. He wants to know what to do. I tell him to secure the facility. We hang up. I go to tell my commanders. So within seconds of that call, my missiles start shutting down. I recall losing all 10 of them.
You didn't see the object?
I didn't see the object because I was obliged to stay underground in the capsule.
By shutting down, we mean what?
By shutting down, what I mean is they were not launchable. They were in no-go condition, disabled.
How long to restart them?
How long to restart? Well, I'm sure it took over a day, and maybe.
Right. Now, Bob Jamison, you were there too, right?
Yes, sir.
And you were in the Air Force.
Yes, I was in the Air Force.
Where were you when this was happening?
I was a targeting officer, missile targeting officer. I was at home relaxing, and I got a call from Job Control to tell me to come in. The missile had gone down. My job as a targeting officer was to bring him back up. And so I went into.
So you didn't see the incident. You just went to the.
I went to the incident. I went to the site.
Where is Maelstrom?
It's Great Falls, Montana, just outside of Great Falls, Montana.
What did you make of the story?
Well, I know that it's true. I went into Job Control after I got to the hangar. I was called in, went to the hangar, went to the Job Control, and I noticed they have a map of the whole complex with green lights where the missiles were good, but there's one small area with 10 red lights. I mean, those missiles were out.
Is it possible they just malfunctioned?
That doesn't happen. Very rarely does a missile malfunction, and I don't think much more rare would be 2 at the same time, but never 10.
Now, Bob Jacobs, where were you? What were you filming, and where were you?
I was officer in charge of optical instrumentation at Vandenberg Air Force Base from 1963 to 66.
That's
our job
California?
was to photograph. That's California, so right there on the coast. Right. And our job was to photograph with high-speed instrumentation every missile launch from Vandenberg going down the test range. They wanted to find out if we could figure out a place to put a telescope where we could get a side view of the missile so that we could see all 3 stages of powered flight. So I went up to Big Sur, California, up on a U.S. Forest Service road on Anderson Peak. I installed a telescopic sight up there. The Air Force flew in a huge catadioptric telescope from the Cape. It was built by Dr. Walter Manning at the Boston University. They put the telescope up there. And with that thing, which had a focal length of 2,500 inches, we photographed an Atlas missile raising up out of the the fog cover and flying downrange. We got all 3 stages of powered flight. And as the dummy warhead and the package flew on down range, we were all celebrating the fact that we had seen the thing and accomplished the mission. When I got back to the base with the film the next day, I was called into the office of Major Florence J. Mansman, and there were 3 people in gray suits standing in there. There was a 16mm camera and a screen set up. Major Mansman said, "Lieutenant, sit down and watch this." And he turned down the lights, turned on the camera on the projector, and the film came on. And I recognized it as the film that we'd shot at Big Sur the previous day. Toward the end of the flight, I was looking at Major Mansman saying, "Pretty good stuff, huh, sir?" And suddenly he said, "Just watch this." And as I watched, the warhead, the dummy warhead, the chaff that was put out in front of it as a decoy to deflect the Russian anti-missile tracking radar. Everything was flying along, and suddenly, in the same direction this stuff was flying at about 8,000 miles an hour, an object came into the frame, shot a beam of light at the warhead, flew up to the top, shot another beam of light at the warhead, flew around the direction it was flying, shot another beam of light at the warhead, flew down, shot another beam of light at the warhead, and flew out the same way it came in.
The U.S. government does not.
Woo! So hey, that's that. Hey, that's the power, man. That's your how about Shemal Bashar, the angels, man. All right, which is totally confounding Esau. All right, they deactivated a warhead in midair, and that video went viral years ago. All right, now remember to the point where Esau was taking it down. All right, because this information they don't really, want to get out there, man. But anyway, all right, that's pretty much the bulk that I wanted to show in that video. So. Anyway, getting into this article real quick, all right? And like I said, we're just following up. I'm just following up through the spirit on this lesson, all right? The chariots, the angels, is UFO propaganda. The Lord will reveal his power. So as we see here in this testimony that was given by these 3 military officials that had very high clearance within the government, they're giving you the testimony that, look, they witnessed, okay, the chariots basically control the ICBM missiles and Esau's nuclear systems. They have the ability to shut it down. All right. And that shows you that that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is in full control of everything, man. Okay. This is his show. This is his movie, man. He's the director. Right. But anyway, jumping into this article, this is from the Jerusalem Post. This is from that small hat website, the 48er website here, Jerusalem Post. It says, the title here, it says, UFOs, which are the chariots, once took control of Russian ICBMs, nearly caused World War III. So just like this testimony here, the chariots took control of America's nuclear systems. All right. America's ICBMs as well. Right. It says, did aliens... The so-called aliens nearly caused the Earth to be consumed by World War III after antagonizing Russian missile bases in Ukraine. Did Russian fighter pilots die fighting UFOs? And we have the records on that. We're gonna play that in a minute. All right. It said, did Russian fighters die fighting UFOs, the chariots? And they did. All right. Let's read a little bit. All right. So it says here. It says Russian fighter jets once fired at possible extraterrestrial life forms after a pair of UFOs nearly caused World War III. It says after a pair of UFOs nearly caused World War III to break out, according to sworn testimony shared to Congress and obtained by Fox News. It says the testimony was given by George Knapp, an award-winning Las Vegas-based journalist who has repeatedly reported on UFOs, the chariots, now known as UAPs, and the alleged conspiracy surrounding them. According to Knapp, there was a time when the Russian military actually deployed fighter jets to fire on UFOs following an incident that nearly pushed the world into a globe-spanning nuclear war, right? Let's read a little bit more. It says, how did UFOs clash with Russian fighter pilots take over ICBM base? It says in the testimony, Knapp said that the Russians had carried out what may have been the largest ever UFO investigation in history, spanning a decade and the entire breadth of the Russian military echelon. He said he had spoken with a Russian military official, Colonel Boris Sokolov, who said that there had been no less than 45 different incidents where Russian fighter jets had clashed with UFOs, and Russian jets crashing in 3 of those incidents, resulting in the deaths of 2 pilots in clashes with UFOs, right? It says one incident that really raised alarm bells, though, was at a Russian ICBM base in Ukraine. According to Sokolov, the UFO somehow took control, right? The UFOs somehow took control of the launch system. You see? Come on, man. So let's play that real quick, and we'll grab scriptures in a second. Okay, let me finish this last paragraph. It says, Knapp described it as follows. UFOs appeared over the base, performing astonishing maneuvers in front of stunned eyewitnesses, and then somehow took control of the launch system. The missiles were aimed at the U.S. and were suddenly fired up. All right, so we're reading here this testimony. The angels are simply toying with these devils. You know, the angels are playing with these niggas, man. It says the missiles were aimed at the U.S. and were suddenly fired up. Launch control codes were somehow entered, and the base was unable to stop what could have initiated World War III. All right, the Lord is playing with you, damn devils, man. Everything is on His time, man. All right. It says then, just as suddenly the UFOs disappeared and the launch control system shut down. Man, right? The Most High is just flexing on you devils, man. Let me get a quick scripture, man. All right, real fast. Let's go get that back in Jeremiah 4:13. All right. Jeremiah 4:13 again. It says, behold, he shall come up as clouds. All right. The chariots are also described as clouds. Right. He shall come up as clouds. His chariots, all right, the so-called UFOs, his chariots shall be as a whirlwind. His horses are swifter than eagles. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled. So it says his horses, the chariots, are swifter than eagles, right? They appear, they disappear, they reappear. All right. They're not bound by the laws of gravity, right? They do as they please. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled. And that's the spirit that was on these Edomites, man, these Russian Edomites, right? They were astonished. Okay, the chariots somehow took over the launch system. They controlled the system. They shut it down, right? And that's why I said in the lesson that I was going into the other day, right? The Lord is really about to turn up. Okay, we're about to see more miracles, man, more miraculous things take place. And this is what these Edomites are witnessing right now, man. All right, let me get another scripture. This is before I get to the video. This is the book of Psalm 103. Okay, because hey, the angels of Yahweh Shema Shai are in complete order, man. All right, and the angels are simply toying with Esau. Psalms 103:19, it says, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai have prepared his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom ruleth over all. Verse 20, the point, it says, bless the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his words. So the angels are in order, man. All right. So when the time is given by the Father, all right, to initiate, the World War III, the prophecies is going to happen. Everything is on the Lord's time. All right. He's in full control of the whole spectrum. Isaiah 45 and was it 17? No, Isaiah 45 and 7, right? Right. Isaiah 45 and 7, it says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Awashai, do all these things. The Lord is in control of everything, man. All right? God's supreme power, that's the spirit. See? So let's play this clip just to show you, as we were reading this article, right? It said that, let me read that again. Hold on. Yeah, the latter half of this paragraph. It says a Russian military official, Colonel Boris Sokolov, who said that there had been no less than 45 different incidents where Russian fighter jets had clashed with UFOs, with Russian jets crashing in 3 of those incidents, resulting in the deaths of 2 pilots in clashes with UFOs. So let's get some more testimony on that. All right.
And quietly spent millions of dollars investigating UFOs, and then they lied about it. Why have they lied about it? One reporter says he knows why. It's interesting. Stay tuned. Each one actually matters. UFOs for years were treated as the stuff of cranks and weirdos, but recently, people who are interested in the topic have been joined by a formidable ally, the American military. Turns out for years, the Pentagon spent millions investigating UFO phenomenon. They've lied about it. However, in a recent piece for the Washington Examiner, columnist Tom Rogan came out with a theory as to why they've been lying, and it's worth hearing. Tom Rogan joins us tonight. Tom, thanks so much for coming in. So one of the things you hear is, well, maybe these objects are Russian or Chinese, but your piece points out Russia and China have literally lost aircraft chasing these things. So they're not Russian or Chinese.
So we have a declassified British government document, which is a research document into UFOs that points out a couple of times, actually, that about 4 Soviet pilots, perhaps Russian pilots since, were lost in trying to engage these aircraft.
Were killed. Does it say how?
Pilots were killed. Russian and Chinese pilots were killed trying to chase after the chariots, man. All right? Listen up.
Lost aircraft chasing these things. So they're not Russian or Chinese.
So we have a declassified British government document, which is a research document into UFOs that points out a couple of times, actually, that about 4 Soviet pilots, perhaps Russian pilots since, were lost in trying to engage these aircraft.
Were killed. Does it say how?
Doesn't say how. And I haven't been able to find out how. I did hear from someone, though, engaged was an appropriate term to use, so that they were trying to shoot these things down was the implication.
Okay, so if
they were trying to shoot the chariots down, and the chariots shot them niggas down. they got killed. All right, this is the power, man. All right,
Russia, China, and the U.S.
I did hear from someone, though, engaged was an appropriate term to use, so that they were trying to shoot these things down was the implication.
Okay, so if Russia, China, and the U.S. have all had this experience, then these are not.
These are not. And I think that's a pretty clear assessment on the part of the military.
These are not made by human beings.
No. Well, yeah, I think that's a fair assessment based on the capabilities, especially with some of the aircraft that the Navy have seen in recent years are manifesting, right? That you have things that are going hundreds of knots under the water, anti-gravity, instantaneous hypersonic acceleration, that you have basically capability performance without jet propulsion.
Right.
This stuff is not stuff that China or Russia have anywhere near the capability.
Or that physically.
See, so are you hearing this? Capabilities that are not of this world, man. All right, going back to that scripture we read in Jeremiah. Right, let's bring it back. All right, because that's the scripture we just read here. Jeremiah 4:13 again. It says, "Behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariot shall be as a whirlwind. His horses are swifter than eagles." All right, no jet propulsion, moving through the water, moving through the skies, maneuvers that craft on earth can't do. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled. All right, there's no stopping that. Okay, there's nothing you can do against that. All right, pilots, Russian and Chinese pilots were killed. All right, trying to shoot down the angels, man. All right, so once again, I want to make mention again, right? In the lesson that I did, you know, Esau's UFO propaganda, they were saying that they shot down chariots, you know, that so-called UFOs crashed Esau talking about he salvaged parts from the UFOs that crashed, and they were able to incorporate it into the things, the technology that they have is all bullshit, man. All right. Esau ain't doing none of that. All right. Talking about the UFOs crashed, and then they got the bodies of the aliens, and they were cutting them open and doing studies. Like when you look on the internet, you'll see videos and fake videos of Esau like doing surgery on a gray alien and shit on the table. He cutting them open and shit. They experiment and study on them. It's all bullshit, man. Esau not doing that, man. And all this stuff that's being put out there is to offset what's really going on. All right. What's really going on is that these chariots are shutting down, nuclear systems, man, knocking missiles out the sky. All right. The angels are terrorizing these military bases. A lot of this stuff is happening and it's going unreported. All right. The Lord is doing things, man, is my point. All right. As I was making mention, let me get that back in. Let's bring that back out. Let's go to the book of was it Sirach 36? Right? Bear with me, and I'm gonna go back to the clip, right? Because all of this stuff is just, it's amazing, man. It's our power, back in Sirach 36 or Ecclesiastes chapter 36 and verse 1 again, it says, "Have mercy upon us, O Lord, power, Yahweh Hashem Awashai of all, and behold us, and send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee." Right? So these testimonies that we're listening to is pretty much the fear, man. All right. They're talking about the chariots doing amazing things. Right? It says, "Lift up thy hand against the strange nations and let them see thy power." Right? So these testimonies are examples of what these nations seeing the Lord's power. It says, "As thou was sanctified in us before them, so be thou magnified among them before us." You see? So we're telling Esau and the nations, all right, you're being introduced, okay, to the power, man, to the power of all heaven and earth, man. All right. The angels, the Lord, basically the Lord of Sabaoth, James the 5th chapter. All right. The Lord of armies. Okay. It says, verse 5, "And let them know thee as we have known thee, that there is no power but only thou, O power." All right. Verse 6, "Show new signs and make other strange wonders." And those strange wonders are a part of the testimony that we're hearing about right now. All right. Chariots shutting down ICBMs and nuclear systems, man. Basically the angels are mocking Esau's power, they're mocking these militaries, It says, "And make other strange wonders, glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. Raise up indignation and pour out wrath, take away the adversary and destroy the enemy." And that's what the chariots are going to do. Right now they're toying with these devils, but eventually, all right, they're going to bring destruction. All right. So let's go back.
Especially with some of the aircraft that the Navy have seen in recent years are manifesting, right? That you have things that are going hundreds of knots under the water, anti-gravity, instantaneous hypersonic acceleration, that you have basically capability performance without jet propulsion.
Right.
This stuff is not stuff that China or Russia have anywhere near the capability.
Or that physics can explain.
Exactly.
So why is the Pentagon lying about this? Why have they lied about it for so long?
I mean, that's the golden question. I think one reason is that a lot of people in the Pentagon fully don't understand what this is. I think they come to the conclusion it ain't from here.
Yeah.
But beyond that,
Yeah, it ain't from here. This power ain't of this world, man. Esau's confounded, right? Hey, the scriptures say the devils also believe and tremble, man. All right. This is the power that's going to take down this empire, this beast. All right. This system that's ruling the earth, man. This is the end of Esau, and they know it. That's why when you read Revelation 12, they're preparing to fight against Yahweh Shah and the angels, right? But we know how that's going to end.
Some flummoxed.
And you think they have come to that conclusion?
Yes, confidently.
They think this is extraterrestrial, just to be totally blunt about it.
Or extra dimensional, something extra. Let's put it that way.
It's not from this world.
Not from this world, and not from Elon Musk. You know, some people say maybe it's some secret billionaire somewhere. It's too advanced.
Let's go.
It's also quite extraordinary the degree to which, when these things happen, right? When we've seen a lot of, or some coverage, not as much as we would want to see on the Navy in particular, but the nuclear synergy, the nuclear identifier, that a guy, Robert Hastings, wrote a book about this 10, 15 years ago, which is at some point probably going to become a bestseller because it talks about these things actually deactivating, in a couple of cases, US and Soviet ICBMs in the Cold War. So whatever these things are, intelligent machines, they're not ghosts, blips on the radar. Also their ability to move, both through space, air, and hundreds of knots underwater in terms of friction.
Nothing can go hundreds of knots. I mean, the whole thing is, so we're out of time. Unfortunately, we should have led the show with this. We should be leading the show with this tomorrow, and so should every other newscast.
Well, it's great you're covering it. It's great you're covering it. No one else does.
Covering it more. It's unbelievable.
It is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Tom Rogan. We're out of time tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m., the show that is the sworn enemy of lying pomposity.
There you go, man. So the testimony is heavy, The pilots, Chinese and Russian pilots, have died, dealing with the angels of the Lord, right? Salaki, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, I don't know why I deleted the brother's scriptures, man. Yeah, the brother GMS Debar Kabash, it said that I timed him out. That's some bullshit. Salaki, bear with me 1 second. We'll finish it out here. I don't know what the hell's going on with the chat. Right. But anyway, let me finish this out. Esau, I'm telling you, man, they'll do anything to hinder the video, the chats. Come on, man. But anyway, all right, Lord willing, he can get back in there and post more scriptures. Right. But anyway, let's get back into it. So there you have it. Okay. And one more here, which this video was actually, I believe it was actually removed, but this was taken from Russian satellites. All right. As you can see here, it's backwards, but it's June 11th, 1998. All right. So they spotted on satellite this triangular UFO just hovering, over the earth. Right. So the Lord he's showing signs, he's bringing forth those strange wonders, man. Right. And this is the real deal. Right. Because I believe they had took the video down. You can't find it no more on the YouTube. Right. So the Lord is doing things, man. Right. The Lord is revealing his power. The angels is revealing the power. So this is real. This is the real stuff. So anyway, let's get some more scripts and we'll wrap it up. All right. So this is, let's get that in. Let's go to Isaiah real quick. We talked about how the angels are in order. Okay, this is Isaiah. We'll just start at the top. Isaiah 13:1, and it reads, it says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see, lift you up a banner, which is this word, this truth. All right, the standard, lift you up a banner upon the high mountain. The high mountain is America, where his word is being magnified. All right, exalt the voice unto them, shake their hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. Right, which goes back to the nobility of this world, the rulers, the kings. Okay, this word is going up to the powers that be. Right. This is why we're being under attack. The videos, the channels. All right, shadow banned. Right now, they got to acknowledge this thing, man. The truth is coming out. Right. The point, verse 13, I have commanded my sanctified ones, which are the prophets. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, which are the angels of the Lord. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. So the angels of Yahweh Shem Shah rejoice at the commands. They love to do the will of the Lord, man. Okay, the angels are in order. All right, as we were hearing about the testimonies, everything is on the Lord's time. He's simply toying with these devils, man. Right? Joel chapter 3. Let's get that real quick. This is Joel chapter 3. We're going to start up at verse 9, all right? Because this is dealing with World War III, right? As we were reading in this article, right? That the chariots once took control of Russian ICBMs, nearly causing World War III, right? So this is Joel 3 and 9, and it reads, it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, the heathen nations, prepare war. And that's what's going on now. All right. I went into the lesson yesterday about how it talked about how the world leaders are having war fever. That's the spirit that's in the earth. Prepare for war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. So that's what's going on now. The armies are being prepared. All the world's militaries are being prepared for World War III, man. All right, which is about to go nuclear. All right. That's why the chariots, this is why the chariots are manifest themselves. It's getting ready to go down. All right. Basically, the Lord is here, man. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Right? Because these nations have the capability. They have the technology. Right? They got the missiles, man. All right. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all you heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. Who are the mighty ones? The angels, right? Cause the mighty ones to come down, O Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. And that's spiritual. Because as everything is leading to war, nuclear war, the mighty ones are coming down. You're seeing the angels, man. The angels are pretty much fucking with Esau. They're doing things, man. They're doing things that cannot be explained. Right? They know that this technology is not any of the it's not part of the of their adversaries' technology. They know that Russia and China or whatnot, they know that they don't possess this. This is out of this world, as you just heard. It says, verse 12, it says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, or Yahweh Judges, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So that's why the nations are being gathered in the Middle East right now as we speak for that great and final day. It says, put you in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for the wickedness is great. Right? The harvest is right. It's the judgment is about to happen, man. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, is near in the valley of decision. It's about to go down, man. You see? It says, the sun and the moon shall be darkened and the stars shall withdraw their shining, because you got to understand, when those missiles hit, there's going to be a great fallout. All right. It's going to be darkness. Okay. It says, the Lord also, Yahweh Shem Shai, also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. But the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. You see that? So the Lord is about to vindicate us. All right. He's about to avenge his temple, according to the scriptures, for what the nations did to us. All right. The Lord is going to come against all that fought against Jerusalem. Okay. It says, verse 17, it says, so you know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, your power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. All right. It says, we'll finish it out. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drop new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and all the rivers of Judah shall flow with waters, and a fountain shall come forth of the house of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, and shall water the valley of Shittim. All right, going into the blessings in the kingdom. You know, it says, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. All right, so Egypt and Edom are synonymous. All right, this is dealing with Esau. Okay, Egypt, Edom, Idumea, Babylon, Assyria, Mount Seir. Okay, they're all synonymous. This is all dealing with Esau, Edom. All right, his destruction. Egypt should be a desolation, and Edom should be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. All right, so the Lord is going to, like I said, the Lord is going to vindicate us. He's going to enact revenge upon Esau and the heathen, our enemies. But Judah should dwell forever in Jerusalem from generation to generation. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed. For the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai dwelleth in Zion. All right, which is the point, man. So the Lord is about to bring the work, man. All right, it is time for thee, O Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law. All right. This is Habakkuk, okay? This is Habakkuk chapter 3 in verse 1. It says God's deliverance of his people, the Israelites, starting with the elect. Habakkuk 3:1, a prayer of Habakkuk the prophet upon Shignath. Verse 2, O Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known in wrath, remember mercy. Okay? Because, hey, when the Lord actually initiates this, all right, the destruction is going to be terrible. All right. So in his wrath, we're asking the Lord to remember mercy, man. All right, to remember us, to save us, man, from the destruction. You know, it says Yahweh Shem Shai came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Salah. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise. Right, going into the chariots. Right, it says, and his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand. Right, going into the lights on the chariots and whatnot. You know, the colors. It says, in his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of Salaki, and there was the hiding of his power. Before him went pestilence, and burning coals forth at his feet. You see that going into those laser beams and whatnot. You know, it says, read it on, Salakia. Excuse me. Let me grab something to drink real quick. Excuse me. Salakia. All right, so let's go back to where we at. Habakkuk 2, Habakkuk chapter 3, in verse 5 here. So this is Habakkuk. Excuse me, this is Habakkuk chapter 3 in verse 5, and it reads, it says, before him went the pestilence, and burning coals went forth at his feet. It says, he stood and measured the earth. He beheld and drove asunder the nations, and the everlasting mountains were scattered. The perpetual hills did bow. His ways are everlasting. I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction, and the curtains of the land of Midian did tremble. The point. Verse 8, Habakkuk 3:8, it says, was the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai displeased with the rivers? Was thy anger against the rivers? Was thy wrath against the sea? Thou didst ride upon thy horses in the chariots of thy salvation. You see that? So, hey, when the Lord comes, it's going to be total destruction, man. You got to understand, you got the chariots that are going to bring that's going to bring the fire, those laser beams, but also you have the nuclear missiles. All right. The nuclear missiles are a part of the Lord's army, right? That's why, as we read the article earlier, right, the angels of Yahweh Shem Shai are just simply toying with Esau. All right, based off the testimony, how they had the ability to shut to take out missiles, warheads in mid-flight. All right, to totally shut down their their system, to cause it to dysfunction, man. That's the power of the Lord. It said in the testimony, it said it basically took over the system, right? Where was that at? Yeah, right here, right? The testimony of the guy named, what was his name? George Knapp. All right, this is what he said. Let's read it one more time. It says, Knapp described it as follows: UFOs, chariots appeared over the base, performed astonishing maneuvers in front of stunned eyewitnesses, and then somehow took control of the launch system. Right? That had to be bugged out, man. You know, Esau was shitting bricks, right? It says then somehow took control of the launch system. The missiles were aimed at the U.S. Right? Imagine that. Imagine just the system being totally taken over. You don't know what the hell's going on, right? And then the missiles just get aimed at America. You know, they probably was like, oh shit, you know, it's about to go down, right? But when it does go down, and the Lord is in full control of it, He's going to have control over the missiles. He's going to control America's nuclear defense systems, because they're not going to be able to defend themselves against the warheads. So the destruction of this place is going to be inevitable, man. You see, the Lord is going to work all of it. It says the missiles were aimed at the U.S. and were suddenly fired up. All right. Imagine that. Launch control codes were somehow entered, right? Imagine the control code. Imagine being there to see that. The control codes were being entered and nobody's punching them in, right? And the base was unable to stop what could have initiated World War III. Then, just as suddenly the UFOs disappeared and the launch control system shut down. Come on, man. You know, if that ain't a faith booster, come on, man. Hey, the Lord is in the midst of all of this, man. So anyway, making my point. All right, the ICBMs, the missiles, the warheads are part of the Lord's army, right? Let me just get straight to the point. All right, because when you read Joel chapter 2, 1 on down, it's giving you the descriptions of the missiles, man, on how they're going to maneuver. All right, how the Lord is pretty much going to use them, all right, to destroy this place. You know, the technology, they're not going to miss their targets, right? They're going to be in battle formation when they come down and hit this place. But the straight to the point here, this is Joel chapter 2. And I start at 6. All right. And we'll read to the point. This is Joel 2 and 6. And this is dealing with the missiles. Joel 2 and 6, before their face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness, because these people are going to be scorched with that fire. It says they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. They should march everyone on his ways. They should not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they should not be wounded, because these missiles are going to directly hit the target. You know, they're not going to collide within one another. All right. They're not going to fall out the sky. You know, they're going to accomplish the will of the Lord. Verse 9, they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They should climb upon the houses. They should enter in at the windows like a thief. Because remember, when these missiles come out of the silos, they're going to be shot into the heavens, into the upper atmosphere, right? And they're going to come back down on the earth, and those warheads are going to hit the earth. They should enter at the windows like a thief, right? Tells you that in Isaiah 24, right? Add on to that. Isaiah 24 real quick, right? It says, Isaiah 24 and 17, it says, fear in the pit and the snare are upon thee, O inhabitant of the earth. And it shall come to pass that he that flee from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows, for the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake. Right. So as those missiles go up into the atmosphere, up into the heavens, into the firmament, they're going to come back down on the earth, man. Right. And which is going to cause that great earthquake. Right. When those missiles hit ground zero and the foundations of the earth do shake. Verse 19, and the earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. How is that going to happen? Right? Verse 20, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. So what force is capable enough to rock the planet, man? What's going to cause the earth to do that? All right. When these warheads hit ground zero, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. And that's what's going to happen to Esau's empire. All right. It shall fall and never be risen up again, because this is the end of them. Right. But finishing it out, back in Joel 2:9 again, it says, they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb upon the houses. They shall enter at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them, right? The whole earth is going to rock to and fro as a drunkard. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. See the point. And the Lord Yahweh Shai shall utter his voice before his army. You see, so these missiles are likened unto the Lord's army. Right? The Lord Yahweh Shai shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, man. You're talking about 200 million warheads, man. And the Lord's spirit is going to be on these missiles. For his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord Yahweh Shai is great and very terrible. Who can abide in it, man? See, the day of the Lord is going to be terrible. You're talking about destruction on top of destruction, man. You're talking about overkill. The Lord said he was going to reward Babylon double, man. It's going to be a terrible day when this goes down, right? That's why the Lord, and I'm going to keep going back to it, this is why the Lord is messing with Esau, all right? Nearly caused World War III, okay? Which is all prophecy. The Lord is going to cause World War III. That's the will of Yahweh Shai, as it is written, right? Verse 12, Joel 2:12, it says, therefore also now saith the Lord Yahweh Shai, turn ye even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning, right? This is the time, hey, understanding these things, this is the time to repent and come back to the Lord, man. Right? This thing is plain to receive, to understand. This is prophecy here, man. That's why we tell Jake to turn back to the Lord before it's too late, man, or you're going to perish in the day of vengeance, right? You're going to be consumed in that nuclear fire, all right? Or when the chariots bring them lasers, man, when Yahweh Shai brings the judgment, man, all right? So my point, okay, the missiles, let's go to that. The missiles are a part of the Lord's army, man, right? Let's play that real quick and we'll wrap it up. All right, going back into this lesson here, and you can pull this video up on YouTube. It says, how would a nuclear war between Russia and U.S. affect you personally, right? Let's just play that real quick, right?
Verse 14, behold the
Salakia.
What would happen if there was a full-scale nuclear war between Russia and the United States? Based on non-classified data, the aftermath might go something like this. When one side launches nuclear missiles, the other side detects them and fires back before impact. U.S. submarine-launched ballistic missiles from west of Norway start striking Russia after about 10 minutes, and Russian ones from north of Canada start hitting the U.S. a few minutes later. The very first strikes are high-altitude EMP attacks, frying electronics and power grids by creating an electromagnetic pulse of tens of thousands of volts per meter. The next strikes target command and control, as well as nuclear launch facilities. Land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles take about half an hour to arrive.
Right. So this is how it's going to go down. You can go back and watch the video on your own. Right. But the Lord's Spirit is going to be in the midst of all of this. Right. Everything is dictated by the Lord. Right. His spirit is going to be on these missiles, man. This is the Lord's army. It said his camp is very great. Right. He's going to use this to fulfill prophecy, man. This is what's going to bring in the new heaven and new earth. This is what's getting ready to happen in our lifetime, man. All right. It's going down. We're in the time of war. You know, so we'll leave it like that, man. I pray that this lesson was edifying, man. Lord willing, it stays up. You know, Esau been striking my channels like crazy, but whatever. We're going to still go hard on this nigga, man, because there ain't nothing he can do. His empire is collapsing and ultimately is about to be destroyed. All right. So let the war happen. It's the will of Yahweh Shema Shai, Armageddon, World War III. So, hey, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect, that's pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Hey, we almost out of here. Hey, shalom, shalom. Shalom. Hey, the water to for all the precepts on the comment board. There you go, my brother. Hey, that's right, man. That's right. You know, it's a wrap. Hey, shalom to all you brothers and you sisters out there. Shalom, Ak, the Bar Kabash, right? The water for the precepts, man. Shalom, shalom.